Hello and welcome. This is the Connection Hub, and I'm Vanessa, a psychic medium who channels messages for the divine and your loved ones. Today I was sitting in meditation. I threw on Insight Timer, and I was listening to a meditation on manifestation. And one of the questions that were posed was, are you looking for love? And I was entirely inspired to do a reading with that energy. Are you looking for love? So this is going to be a pick a card reading. I'm going to shuffle this deck here and pull out 3 cards for us to choose our piles from. One more card. I'm hearing it's in this bottom half. Ooh, and that's it. Okay, amazing. And let me just put these away. Oh, look at that. There's a card left in here, and I was just told to take that out as well. And my goodness, we're gonna do 4 piles today. Awesome. Alrighty, are you ready? I'm ready. Our first card is the offering. Our second card is gnosis. Our third card is the womb. And our fourth card is the kiss. Tuning into your intuition, going with the pile that feels best for you. And I have posted the timestamps below in the description box, and I will speak with you again shortly. If you've gone ahead and chosen the offering as your group, this is pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. We're going to get into the Rosebud Tarot, but first I just wanted to focus on this card. I landed right over here. What came to me was this letting go, this asking for, and this releasing. Seeing this hand over here, it's almost like this is being depicted as the wish. Imagining sitting down and writing down what it is you desire, what it is you would like to bring into your physical experience, or maybe even energetic experience, I'm hearing. And understanding that in that release, you have so much faith and so much confidence that your desire, that your dream is going to come to fruition. I'm just noticing that there's something about really balancing your energy as a whole at this time, making sure that you're doing things that are going to bring a really nice variety to your life, just in terms of putting focus into those 4 pillars. So the pillar of your physical health, your emotional well-being, your mental health, and your spiritual, I want to say, advancement. All of these watercolors are really representing the chakra system. And then over here, we have like quite a void. Yeah. And when I think of the void, I think of the in-between. I think of us or an individual, a person, a wish, a desire. And then that void is really the ether. It's the space in between and surrounding all spaces. It's source. It's God. It is the most divine energy. It is the ether. It is infinity and beyond. So I wanted to also read the book. Unlike many of the other cards in this deck, the offering carries a clear as day message and a call to action. It is time for something to be given and given up for the sake of the bigger picture. If nothing comes to mind immediately, though it's likely it will, take time in meditation to consider what must be offered and who is to receive it. It's likely you'll feel attachment and hesitancy. You'll make excuses, but recognize the link between the word sacrifice and the word sacred. One leads to the other. When we offer up something to the greater good, we lighten our load and become more able to serve. It really is this energy behind setting a wish or wanting something to come in, but this knowing that something has to be released. What's coming to me now about that is maybe this release of control, of trying to control when this relationship is going to happen for you. Are you looking for a relationship? Is a relationship something that you're calling in? Now is the time to loosen your grip and just allow for the magic magic of the universe, for the infinite power and wisdom of the void to provide. What is it that you need to let go? So here we have the Rosebud Tarot. I actually just got this deck. In terms of art and visual appearance, this deck is right up my alley. We have 6 of water, so 6 of cups at the end of the deck. The 6 of cups speaks to very fond, enjoyable time in our life. We have 2 people here that look so happy and so in love. And I love that this red rose is really sticking out in the art. Oh, and we have a white rose. It's that combination of passion and purity coming together. I'm just gonna put this up right there for you. And let's see what we have here. We have the 4 of fire, so the 4 of wands. This really speaks to a coming together, to a marriage. And again, we have the white and the red roses. This is the first time I'm using this deck, so I'm really excited to see what comes to. We have 4 children. They're all pretty excited, all of their expressions. We do have this little buddy in the background that looks like he's really anticipating. He looks like he's really wanting to see what comes of the calling out, the calling to. And that could actually be the energy that you're sitting in as well. It's like you've made the call, you've made the request, and now is just a time to see what happens. The anticipation of. We have 9 of water, so this is the 9 of cups. This is really being able to take in, I want to say, or thoroughly enjoy the fruits of your labor. I'm seeing the tears, the joy, the wondering, the worry, the stress that you've endured throughout your journey, no matter how long or how short. You've really endured all of the emotions that go into this desire or this wanting of this piece of your life to come together. I was just hearing that maybe for someone, it's almost like this is the missing piece. This is the missing link, and it's been highly anticipated. When is this relationship going to come in? I understand, if anyone understands holding a firm grip on something and wanting to be in control, I understand what that's like. I've been single for 8 years. I was also just being brought into the ether here, right? So it's a really nice mirroring that's happening in the cards right now. The ether, the void, the all-knowing, that vast space. The card is extremely abundant. It is full of greenery, full of flowers. It's full of a richness, and this is what you can expect when this relationship comes in. Next, we have the youth, and this is the Fool card. This is the beginning of the journey. This looks like a kitten or maybe even like a baby tiger. That's really cute. We have a pink rose. So we've been seeing a lot of white and a lot of red, and now we have a pink. So it's that purity and passion really coming together and blending as one. The butterfly wings in the background here is very much communicating transformation, a transformative time. I feel like in this release of control that you are going to fall even more deeply in love with yourself and really find inner transformation right now that is going to open up your heart and really blossom like a flower within your own experience. Over here, much like the satchel that the Fool card carries in the original Rider-Waite, I can see and imagine that this individual has all of the tools that she needs. So all of the past experiences in relationships that you've had, never underestimate the power that every experience gave you. And again, this is going into like no matter how short or no matter how long that experience was, there is nothing that we experience, even if it is a split moment in time, that ever goes to waste. And remember that all of your experiences just add up and provide this wisdom that you now have, and the wisdom that you can depend on to really help guide you in the future. I feel and I'm seeing like I was feeling really strong. I was feeling really confident. I was feeling really sure of myself. And then visually, I was is receiving this image of someone building a house, but out of really strong brick. So this isn't a flimsy foundation you've been working on over the last however long. It could be years, it could be decades. It is a very strong and sturdy foundation that you can count on and rely on. The Professor. The Professor in this deck is the Hierophant. More ether. This is circling back around to the previous experiences that you have had, and the previous relationships that you have, I want to say, endured. Maybe someone listening hasn't had the very best luck. Maybe they have felt taken advantage of or not treated in a way that you now know you are so deserving of. And the important thing to remembering about previous experiences and going through trials and tribulations is not only does it give you an aspect of relatability to understand and have compassion for other people in the world, but it also really allows you to stand so strong in your gratitude for what it is that you were able to call in. All of the work that you've put into yourself and your self-love and just understanding who you are, your worth, what you deserve to receive, all of that work you have done will not go unnoticed, and it was worth every step of the way. Next, we have Velocity of Earth. Maybe I should sit and read the book before I do the reading. Oh my gosh. Stabilizing the speed of change. It has to be the Knight of Pentacles. And look, we have more roses, but these roses, and these roses. Okay, simmer. The Knight of Pentacles. This is a very sure movement forward. This is knowing and understanding what it takes to build the energy behind something very stable. This is not a very fast moving energy. I'm not feeling that this is alluding to you're gonna have to wait so much longer for this to come in. It's the complete opposite. What this is communicating to me is the counterpart coming in has actually done the work themselves as well, and their foundation is also built of a very sturdy brick. It is not flimsy whatsoever. They're sure. They are full of passion, but it's a strong passion. It's a sure passion. I love all of these like fireworks going off in the back. And over here, it's more cattle. That's really cool. I am wearing my glasses in this video. That is also a symbol of fertility. I'm getting like very fulfilling and a very fruitful time. Enjoy that and collect the wisdom that you gain over that amount of time, over those first 7 years in union, and use everything that you have collected, all of the wisdom that you have earned to really, I want to say, like, work at the foundation for the following 7 years. The story that is coming to me is the story in Genesis with Joseph having those premonition dreams about the fat 7 cows and then the thin 7 cows afterwards. This divine counterpart coming in has also done the work as well, and the both of you are going to be feeling very fulfilled with one another once you do meet. I'm just being shown, like, personality wise, because you're both so confident and because you both have done so much internal work and you understand what it is you're worthy of and exactly what it is you're looking for, this next relationship isn't going to be anything flimsy. Feeling the need to repeat, it is very sturdy. Because of that, it might take, what I'm seeing is a little bit of time to have the both of you drop your walls a bit. Be patient with this. Ask questions, be engaging, have fun with everything, enjoy the dating experience, but don't be thrown off if you feel a little bit tight or closed off, and if that's your experience with this counterpart coming in. Lastly, we have the Tower. I want to say, oh no. Why do we have the Tower? Let's just confirm this. Let's get a clarifier. Okay, Ace of Water. We love that. Oh, I understand. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. And let's just put the Ace of Wands underneath. Oh, yes, passion. Look at this amazing, amazing red rose. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this deck. Okay, so the Tower really threw me there for a second, but then we got a clarifier. This is really just confirming all of the past trouble, all of the past trials, tribulations, challenges that you did go through. And it's like, ye shall not worry. I'm hearing ye have little faith. Do not be swayed. Do not have little faith. Watch what's going on in your mind. Clear what's happening in your mind. Oh my gosh. Okay. What I've noticed for myself is I'm doing everything in my power not to think about this person, but this person keeps popping into my mind. On top of that, I am just being inundated with 1,000,001 signs that relate to this person day in and day out. And what I notice myself doing is I turn into this little chihuahua. I'm like, and I make these little barks because sometimes it's so much. It's like I receive the signs and the symbols, oh my gosh, more than 50 times a day. And I'm like, it's so much. Why do you keep coming to me? And I'm sharing this because I'm recognizing that if it is a situation that I would really like to explore, perhaps, or if it is a similar energy that I would really like to invite back into my life through someone else, perhaps, then I really need to not bark at their energetic heels like a little chihuahua and really be open to inviting that experience with love and with grace and an exciting opportunity. So just be mindful of where your mind is going. Be mindful of, I'm seeing how tight your jaw is clenched with the idea of wanting to control the situation. Maybe you've been going down the love oracle tunnel and watching reading after reading after reading. Maybe it's time to just loosen your grip a bit and really depend on your own discernment, depend on your own higher self to guide you through a writing exercise or to guide you through a speaking out loud to yourself exercise. But just watch what's mentally happening for you. And the other thing that was coming to me as soon as we got this glorious clarifier is now after the storm, like your love is just going to absolutely fill your heart in the most glorious ways. The Ace of Cups to me is your cup truly runneth over. Do you ever look up to the clouds? Every day I am looking up to the clouds and looking into the sky. And I've actually thrown myself onto a dating app, and anytime there's a picture of someone with a beautiful like nature background and there's clouds, I instantly like zoom in to see if I can find any shapes or animals or fun things in the clouds. Maybe that's something for you. Maybe you want to start looking into the clouds and seeing if you can find any cool symbols or any cool shapes that are communicating some things especially for you. We have the rainbow, and just like our opening card, the offering and the chakras, this is really just confirming like a full chakra healing at this time, a rejuvenation of keeping in balance to make sure that your energy and your 4 pillars are really being considered in all of the actions that you do take. Okay, let's put this right over here. I'm going to actually put the Tower. No, let's bring your masculine, your steady masculine there. And let's do that. And let's look at the Romance and Love Oracle. I'm being prompted to ask you what you're afraid of. What are you afraid of in terms of entering your next relationship? What is it that makes you nervous? What is it that is causing any apprehension? What are some things that you learned from your childhood or learned from just other relationships that you've been privy to witnessing or even experiencing yourself? What is it that you're afraid of? If we can get clear on our fears and our worries, and we understand how we truly emotionally feel about a situation, then that's really smashing through phase one of the expansion journey. The next question we can ask ourselves is, okay, so if I have now recognized what I am afraid of, what are the steps I can take to help me work through this fear? What is it that I can do? What is it that I need to face? Okay, so we have secrets. Something is hidden from you. Someone isn't being truthful. What's interesting is this card popping up right after I started to probe with a couple of questions. It's like, what are you fearful of? What is hiding in the shadow? What is hiding underneath the surface? What are you keeping from yourself? What inner awarenesses you subconsciously hold on to are being kept secret from you because you haven't yet started to dig or pick at the scab, like pick at the questions, pick at the fear or the worry to start understanding them a little bit more clearly. Next, we have trust. Guard your heart. Not everyone deserves your trust. The trust exercise. Let me fall back. Will you catch me? Will you catch me? I think the question is, will you catch yourself? Have you spent enough time getting to know yourself, or do you find a lot of your energy is being expended into the wanting of something different, right? Guarding your heart, I'm also seeing for some of you that it's time to remove and release the bandage that is tied so tightly around your heart. That's really sweet. I'm actually seeing Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing, stepping forward and just healing your heart chakra, healing the energy there. If you wanted to be proactive in helping in this healing, then do heart opening exercises. You might want to sit in meditation or lay down in meditation with your own hands in your heart, asking and thanking the divine for channeling light and healing energy through your hands. The hands itself, the chakras within the palms are directly connected to the heart chakra itself. So if you can imagine your heart chakra glowing with light and this light streaming down your arms and through your palms, you'll really connect to that energy of the things you touch to be receiving like a beautiful healing at the same time, like a loving touch, a loving and nurturing touch. Not everyone deserves your trust. Isn't this the truth? And it's really knowing that you can let your guard down, but take things at your own pace. I'm just hearing it's not healthy to keep so shut in for an extended amount of time, but to look into and to research the baby steps that it will take to really help allow yourself to open up, like all of these flowers that we've been seeing in this reading. And lastly, with this card, I'm hearing the more you trust yourself, the more you are able to trust others. Together, find joy in the simple pleasures of just being together. Something is coming through in terms of wanting to be razzled and dazzled with like these extreme dates or like the over the top gestures. There's something about simplicity that is coming through, the unraveling of just making sure that it doesn't take an over-the-top experience for you to be interested in someone. That's very specific for someone listening here. There's something about a content creator that you've been watching or seeing that expresses the importance of being courted, and being courted in this over-the-top type of way, and only if that happens, this suitor could be someone for you. There's something about shattering that mindset and really allowing for the simple pleasures to shine through, for the conversation and I guess the relatability factors that you both have when sitting and chatting with one another to really take a front seat in the experience of the date and the dating process. Next, we have nurture. Nurture your relationships like blooming flowers. They'll flourish. It's just so funny, isn't it? Are you as excited as I am that this came through? All of the flower energy and all of the blooming and growing and flourishing. I really want to say be proud of yourself. No matter where you are on your path or on your journey, you are in an amazing place. It's not easy out in these emotional, energetic streets, but we all do our best, and just continue building yourself up, continue building your inner confidence with reassurance. I think reassurance is really important for you right now in this stage and in this part of your process. We're going to use these cards. Let's see what pops out. And I'm hearing there's one more. Your first card here is inheritance. Ooh, and it's number 4. So speaking to your foundation and speaking to what it is you know, like what you've been privy to, the relationships you have maybe watched from the outside. And here is the ask of just paying attention to seeing what's happened within the family dynamic. And this isn't only your direct family, right? See what's happened in the dynamic of your extended family, of your aunts and your uncles, of your grandparents. What patterns and what relationship dynamics have repeated itself? Or if you can take a non-judgmental bird's eye view of the dynamic within these relationships and just seeing like maybe lessons that keep getting repeated, maybe seeing similar, I want to say like emotional disturbances that keep popping up. Inherence, what has been passed through generation after generation in terms of the way the people in your family are relating to others. And this could even be the way that siblings are relating to each other. What history continues to repeat itself from a relational standpoint, right? From a partnership standpoint. I know that we're talking about romance, but I think that this can go into a couple of other directions as well that you'll find to be very helpful when you see the habits and the patterns and the challenges that are repeating. How can you create a fresh start? Like what needs to stop with you so that moving forward, the lines are a little bit less fuzzy. Next, we have Libra. Balance. I love this. The Libra is all about keeping balance. The Libra is also an air sign. So we talked about releasing control. We talked about releasing the clench in the jaw. How can you keep in balance? How can you watch and calm the mind? How can you create a more serene inner experience for yourself so that the outside experience is just as enjoyable? Now could be a really good time to ground yourself to the earth. Okay. That's the last message for this Libra card. To find that balance, to find the balance, in all of the ether. Yeah, we have a lot of mental energy happening right now. We have a lot of mental conversations, a lot of inner dialogue going on. So get outside, do something that is grounding, something to bring you back down to earth. Maybe right now is the time you want to look at your finances and start planning financially. Maybe it's a time you need to stretch your body and get up and go for some walks or hit up a yoga class. Whatever you can do to ground yourself. Oh yeah, thank you. That was a very quick U-turn. Back to the heart chakra. A message that was coming through, which just entirely slipped my thoughts, was to balance out the heart chakra and to help assist in the heart chakra, not only using the power of your healing hands, but nourishing the body with a lot of vegetables at this time, like juicy vegetables. This can also be grounding too. If we find that we're too mentally distracted, then it's time to get back into the physical body, into the physical world experience. So yeah, again, like maybe plan for some new financial moves, go and eat a nurturing salad with lots of goodness in there. Like cucumber is coming to me. I'm seeing someone squeeze like a lime juice. That's actually a delicious idea. And then, moving the body or getting outside, getting to nature, getting to a yoga class. Next we have gift and we have fame. I'm not sure about the fame part, but the cherub here is like, is what I heard when I was looking. And you know what I love about this? Is we have two bows. The typical divine feminine, divine masculine colors. The next relationship, this is going to be very, very fulfilling. And look, just like our fool, the youth. We have like sweet packages is what I'm hearing. Sweet packages, untying, lots of discovering, lots of greatness truly coming your way. The offering, group number 1. I think you're doing great. You're doing so wonderful. You're just so open, and it's okay. You can breathe. You can breathe. Take a nice grounding deep breath and do something that is nurturing for you today. Your heart, your soul, your mind, and your body will love you for it. Hello, if you have chosen the second card, Gnosis, I'm just guessing that the G is silent, then this is your reading. I hope you are having a fabulous day. I am going to get around to reading the book, but I like to just start my readings by tuning into our first message and seeing what I can bring up to open up the floor for our conversation. The first thing I noticed really was the color gradient of the chakra system. So right now I'm just tuning into like a balancing of your energy. I'm seeing Archangel Metatron step forward, and him and his angelic helpers, they're actually like reconfiguring, if you can imagine, the energy along your spine, just along the chakra system itself, and just clearing away and cleansing any stagnant energy that is throwing you off of equilibrium. I'm not sure if you've been like knocking into things. I'm seeing like stubbing your toe or knocking into a door frame. I'm also being shown for someone the need to sit down because you've been feeling a little lightheaded or dizzy. Make sure that you are drinking enough water, and I'm also seeing in your case enough herbal tea. Step away from the coffee and maybe consuming too much caffeine, such as energy drinks or anything that brings your nervous system into a super, super high and then noticing a crash right afterwards. The more I was zoning in and looking at this card, the next thing to come to me here is this bird that seems to be in the head of the snake. So this is a very transformational time for you. And with this bird, I'm hearing a time where you're really going to be taking off. You are going to be surprising yourself in your own energetic greatness, I'm hearing. The coils around, there's a card in John Holland's Psychic Tarot deck, and it's the waiting game. Something about the waiting game, and in today's topic of, are you calling in a relationship? The waiting game is over. There was a clear beginning, but there's a connection here. The tail and the head of the snake is connected. They're touching, or it looks like they're nearly touching, but there is a blend. There is a color gradient here. So this is communicating to me that your union or your coming together with your next partner is not too far off. And it's 3:33 on the timer right now. A lot of creative energy could also be coming to you. And I'm getting in a sense, a creative way of meeting people. If you're someone that has been sitting on dating apps and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and thinking to yourself, oh gosh, is it ever going to happen? I'm seeing you putting your phone away and the apps away and actually getting out and kicking it old school, if you will, and meeting people face to face. There's something about your confidence and the way that you're now able to approach people in, I want to say, IRL, in real life. You're going to be able to have conversation with strangers or with acquaintances or people you're introduced to very easily coming up. My eye was just going to these X's here, and I'm hearing X marks the spot. And as I was just looking over at the monitor, the next thing my eye was landing on was this circle in the center of this geometric shape. It's kind of like X marks the spot and you are here. What this is communicating, that's really awesome for you, is I feel like your partner, the partner that you're calling in, the partner that you are soon meeting, is in the vicinity of where you are, where you currently are. I'm not sure if you're traveling or if you're in your hometown, but you don't have to travel to meet them. It's like you're going to be crossing paths very naturally, and I'm seeing and I'm hearing like at home base. We are going to read the book. True knowledge is not found in facts and figures in scholarly books on library shelves. Rather, Gnosis points to the deep and timeless archetypal wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown with every one of the senses. Those who are drawn to Gnosis finds themselves in esoteric studies like involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. Knowing is their calling. Not knowing is their job description. No matter how far the alchemist takes their studies, they come to the ultimate conclusion that facts slip toward mystery, and soon the mystery results in facts. The eternal mystery is calling you. Study your passion in the deepest way available to you. I absolutely love this card for you, and I love the meaning in the book. This is your new relationship, the relationship right around the corner, is a very soul deep relationship, like a knowing and a connection unlike anything else. This is definitely someone that you've experienced past lives with. This is definitely a relationship that's going to be full of ease. I'm just seeing you sitting and laughing and having the conversation of a lifetime. Communication comes very easily to the both of you. It's almost like a wish upon a star, and then once you get that thing that you wished for, you're wondering how how I just want to sit here and repeat how a million times. Like, how was this possible? How was I able to meet such a person like this. It really truly is a meeting of the ages, I'm hearing, a connection and a partnership of a lifetime. Lifetimes that you've spent plenty together before, and it's written in the stars truly to come together again. This tarot deck is the Inclusive Queer Tarot deck. Right off the hop, I want to say that maybe not everyone is going to agree with the relationship you do form with this partner, but it runs so deep in the hearts of the both of you that it is entirely undeniable. Like, there is no one else you would rather be with. It's kind of like, imagine yourselves in the busiest public space possible. When you're there together, it's going to feel as though you're there entirely alone. You get sucked up and really engrossed in each other's energy. Okay, I'm hearing that that's it. And let's see what has come up. Okay, so we start with the 10 of Swords. I'm hearing past energy. We have the Queen of Swords. I'm going to stop there because I was hearing death by 1,000 cuts. There's something about what you have worked through in your past relationships. I feel like, I feel like you have sat down and you've written out exactly what it is you're looking for in a partner. It's kind of like, and excuse the phrase, but you've created this grocery list, you've folded up the paper, you've put it in an envelope, you've tucked it away, and that was that. And on this grocery list, one of your non-negotiables is great communication. I feel like the partnerships you had previous had you hitting your head against the wall, not understanding why people found it so difficult to communicate. And I'm not talking about finding it difficult to communicate through the challenging conversations. I'm talking about just not really being great at all with their communication. And in some cases, I'm even seeing and hearing that it's not that these people aren't good at communicating, but knowing how important communication is to you, by them not communicating, it kind of deterred you down a different path and away from those people in order to be reconnected with someone who is just beyond words. So know that every experience never goes to waste. Like, there's no such thing as time misspent. And the swords and death by 1,000 cuts, it's so funny because our swords really speak to our communication and that air energy, the mental capacity we have in spending time, not only with ourselves, but with others. And there's something about, gathering your knowledge, like being a spiritual seeker, being someone that is able to view life from a bird's eye perspective. It's like everyone you met before this partner comes in wasn't really able to meet or match your mental capacity. They just didn't have it in them. And so things didn't work out because God inspired within those people just to take a different path along with yourself. The Queen of Swords is someone who is very sure in what it is they want to communicate and is very sure of their words. I'm seeing that you might have a sharp tongue, and with this sharp tongue, you may have like sliced and diced through a number of conversations yourself, but you are a very smart person. And I would encourage you, to continue speaking what's on your heart, and no matter what and how other people take it, so long as you approach the situation with some kindness and compassion. And I'm hearing it's like you do, but it's more like a New York style type of communication. I find when I'm in that city, like stopping a New Yorker and asking them a question or asking for directions somewhere, they're always busy. They're always way too busy, and they're very short and to the point because they don't have time to just stand around there and have a conversation with you. They need to get to wherever it is that they're going. So it's like your style of communication is like a New York style. You know, you have places to go, you have people to see, you have conversations that need to be addressed, and you don't have the time for a fluffiness around things. I'm not saying you don't describe things well, but your storytelling and the way you do communicate is very short and to the point, and it's just who you are. And I like that. I would love to sit and have a conversation with you. Next, we have the Seven of Cups. And I'm just trying to flip the next card, and we have the Six of Swords. I'll be reading the book for the Six of Swords here, but I do love that we have 1, 2, 3 rainbows, and then also like this chakra snake. So there really is a lot of energetic movement happening in your life right now. What I was seeing is I was seeing someone just pulling out a box of keepsakes, you know, like the shoebox that everyone has with a bunch of maybe old love letters or pictures of partners, whatever the case is. I'm being prompted to share. I was just over at my oldest friend's house, and we were like tidying up, and I was helping her with decluttering and moving some furniture around just to shake up the energy in her space. And she was like, oh my gosh, I have a jar of pens that I bought for so-and-so. And it was someone that she used to date. And I was like, ugh, get rid of them. she tossed them out. There's something about needing to cleanse out and clean out old items that you have from past relationships that didn't work out. And before you say, oh, I don't have anything, like I know I don't have anything, I think that mentioning the pens was the perfect example and the perfect prompt for a situation like this, because you don't know what you have until you actually start digging around and moving around your things. So before you say you don't have anything, it is coming up for a reason, and you're being inspired to just do a little bit of digging. Do a little bit of digging so that you can actually find the thing that you're supposed to find and either donate or just get rid of by throwing it out. With our Seven of Cups, this talks about a lot of variety, and again, I'm picking up indicators of past relationships for you and previous ways of interacting in romantic partnership. And I feel like you've had a lot of options, or you've had a lot of people approaching you to be in a relationship. You don't strike me as someone who is finding it difficult to meet people, but you are striking me as someone who is finding it a little bit challenging to meet the right person. So this is just all confirmation that they are so close. They're right around the corner. Speaking of corner, I was just receiving the most beautiful visualization of this person like walking along this side of the building, and then you walking along that side of the building, and it's like you're going to just cross paths. You're just going to bump into one another. Oh, please tell me when this happens. I don't know, like screen cap or do something to mark this video, because I would love, love, love to hear from you. Okay, let's read the book for the Six of Swords, because something is in there and I would love to find out what it is. We're being prompted over here to the things to consider. What baggage are you carrying around with you right now? What is weighing you down and preventing you from living in your greatest potential? Is it worth holding on to that thing? Okay, I love that we were going into the whole decluttering thing. You know, when I was helping my friend declutter, I was explaining to her, I said, oh my gosh, I remember the day. I remember the days of leaving like my old, most serious relationship. We were together for 5.5 years, and I went through everything. I physically moved out of living in a 2-bedroom condo, like amazing space, so many things. I decluttered my life so hard, because when I moved out of my 2-bedroom condo, I was moving back home to just figure myself out. And I knew that I was moving out of an entire living space back into 1 bedroom. So I decluttered like no one has decluttered before. And even still to this day, 7, 8 years later, I find myself continuing to declutter. I love decluttering. I love throwing out old things. I love donating. I just love I can't say I love living minimally because that's not it at all. I still really enjoy beautiful things and decorating my space really, really nice. But I love knowing what I have. If you find yourself living in a space and you're like, I don't even know what I have in here, it's time to start moving around that energy and just like releasing old baggage. In this sense, and where my story was going before I got onto my decluttering horse, I was telling my friend that I was going through jewelry and my ex had given me some really, really, really nice pieces. And I just knew, I knew I had to sever that cord. Like I had to get rid of them. If I wanted a fresh start, like a beautiful, energizing fresh start by breaking free of old energy to invite the new in, I knew that there was no question. And I had to get rid of more things than I maybe necessarily wanted to at the time. But for the most part, the truth is I can't remember way more than half of the things I had gotten rid of because stuff is just stuff. And in this, what's going to end up happening is you're going to like really, really live and experience non-attachment, not being attached to things, like being able to just let go and surrender and give up the stuff in front of you and not hold on to physical material things. If you know you should be getting rid of some things, just get rid of them and ask yourself, if you're having difficulty with this task, ask yourself why. What is it that is making you hold on to that thing? Do you possibly think that you won't come across something as nice or even better? Then we need to start looking at the lack mentality and trying to figure out where this aspect of lack is coming from. Be abundant. Approach this exercise with an abundant mindset, and more will come to you tenfold in very rejuvenating ways. Lastly, we have the 8 of Swords. We have a lot of swords here, ladies and gentlemen. That's okay. I have tons of air in my chart. I understand mental havoc and mental clutter and everything else, like just mentally feeling tied up. Don't think too much. That's the whole thing. Don't think too much about the things that you are decluttering. That's so important. It's such an important part of that process. Hold something. Do I keep it or do I toss it? And tossing, it's loose air quotations, like toss, donate, give the item to a friend that you know will absolutely love it. This isn't an opportunity to just pass along, the things that we no longer like or need, but to give them to someone with a full heart because you know how much they'll appreciate it. I was a celebrity makeup artist for 15 years, and my master bedroom was actually like my art/makeup studio. And because I was in the position I was in, I had companies sending me products all the time. And on top of that, I enjoyed shopping for product. And I remember decluttering my kit and going through my stuff, of course, tossing out the old, but then putting together the most beautiful editorial kit and care package for another amazing makeup artist that was my friend at the time. And I remember giving it to her. She wasn't too thrilled accepting it right off the hop. But then a couple of days later, she said, "Oh my gosh, the things you gave me are just incredible." So if you have someone in mind that you want to give an item to, and you can trust that it's because they'll really, really love it. But like I said, this is not an opportunity just to pass along garbage. Again, loose quotations. So don't overthink. It should be a very easy decision. And if you're in that frame of mind of I am ready for the new. Like I am ready to get rid of the old. I am ready for a new start, a fresh beginning, you know, like the Fool card, like how can I start fresh? Then getting rid of things that are energetically tying you to the past and to previous relationships. It should be a no-brainer. Just rip the band-aid and get rid of the stuff. Okay, so let's go into the love deck here. I just ordered a bunch of new decks from Temu. I went and I recorded a video on half of the haul. I went through 8 new decks. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And I recorded my part 2 yesterday. This deck was in the part 2. Not as funny, but for the most part, the cards are really great. And I'm hearing just one more. All right, my love. Ooh, I love this. I pulled this card yesterday. I love this card. So the 54321. This is basically an exercise for anxiety, or an exercise if you're feeling overwhelmed. Oh my gosh, this is perfect for you, especially if you're starting to feel overwhelmed about decluttering. Like there is someone watching. I'm seeing you have a lot of stuff to go through. There's like old product and things in the washroom. You have a closet just bursting with clothes, bursting with shoes. You have a lot of paperwork to go through. Bite off little pieces. Bite off little pieces. Throw on some great music. Light a candle for yourself. Wash your hands in between the decluttering just to like get new, fresh energy in and on you. Like get the old off of your hands. Try not to wear black, but if you wear, let's say, black pants, wear a lighter top. The reason being is because we don't want like black. It sucks up not only the light, but it sucks up energy. And so we want to feel as light as possible throughout this process and not bogged down and not like just full of stagnancy. Move around. So if you're in the decluttering process and you're sitting on the ground and you're going through things, just get up every once in a while, go drink a glass of water, like go do something. Don't stay in one spot for too long. So the 54321 is an exercise you can do when you start feeling maybe a little bit stressed or like your anxiety is a bit higher than you would like it to be. I'm not sure if you can read that, but with the 5, you want to just pause, find or say out loud 5 things that you can see. What are 5 things that you can see? Next, you want to go down to the 4. What are 4 things you can hear? What are 4 things that you can hear? Then you want to do 3 things you can smell, 2 things you can feel, and then what's 1 thing that you can taste? You want to remember that this is an opportunity to be really present within your physical senses. And if you are looking to build your intuition, you could also work on switching the physical senses into intuitive senses. So what are 5 things that you can visualize in your third eye? What are 4 things that you can feel within the body, like physical senses within the body? Is it a warmness or a tingle in the ears? What are 3 things that you can clairaudiently hear inside of you? And ask your angel, ask God to say something to you, to speak to you. What are 2 things that you know? This would exercise your claircognizance, or if that's too challenging, then maybe what are 2 things that you can psychically smell? That's clairalience. And then what's 1 thing that you know, or 1 thing that you can psychically taste, right? Use this exercise, the 54321, just to calm yourself down if there's ever a moment where you're feeling stressed or full of anxiety. This brings you to the present moment. clairvoyant. And if you don't want to tune into your psychic senses, then really tune into the physical world around you. Be really present in the physical sense. Uranus, you can expect the unexpected when Uranus is involved in romance. This planet represents unconventional partnerships, and the only thing you can be sure of with Uranus is that you will be pushed outside your comfort zone. When Uranus shows up, it may indicate a challenge to the norm of conventional partnerships. The planet can also signify diving headfirst into love without much thought about where the relationship might lead. You're both, I feel like, so just unhinged. Like you're so perfect for one another, amazing for conversation, and you like to really think outside of the box. There is really great opportunity for the both of your minds to come together and create experiences for like-minded people, maybe to build a community of like-minded people and to really help others like live for them, their quirks, their wildness, their weirdness, everything about them. When I was reading this like idea of being unhinged, this could be literal or not, but I was watching the both of you like running buck naked through a forest and just laughing and loving life and thoroughly enjoying yourselves. It really is unlike any partnership that you've ever had in the past, and not really, I can't even say not really, because it is not at all a cookie cutter partnership. It is a very blessed partnership, and I am so excited for you. Green aventurine. I love this. So the green aventurine, I was just talking about this stone with a fellow artist, a friend that I met at the golf course, and he loves to create visual art. Green aventurine is wonderful for inspiration, for heart chakra activation, for really tuning into a flow state, into that creative side of ourselves. Speaking of the flow state, and then also like the logical side, so the masculine and feminine, the moon and the sun, the shining of and the dimming down. When I see the both of you standing side by side, energetically, it's like your kundalini rising in a visual sense. It's you both are so tuned in to both the masculine and feminine energies that you possess, not separately, but together. The energy of both masculine and feminine in one individual, and then the energies of both masculine and feminine in the other individual. And so it's this gorgeous combination of both light and dark combining together. Not just one stream of light and one stream of dark, but a light and dark stream, and then a light and dark stream, and the four streams just doing the most beautiful thing within your energy when you do connect. It's like this activation is gorgeous. What does this card have to say? I really couldn't tell you. Because the font is so small, I might have to get the regular deck for this. But I think we got the message that we were supposed to get just by reading Green Aventurine. Next, we have the root chakra, and it's so funny seeing this on a green card. Because the root chakra, the color associated with that is red, and it's all about really feeling safe and really feeling secure and really feeling as though you're a part of a community. And I love that I was speaking to like combining your forces together. You could really do something remarkable within a community and like building a like-minded community around the both of you. When you do come together, it's like it's just going to click. It's just going to make sense. Your life is going to make sense. Their life is going to make sense. And the both of you coming together is going to be one of the biggest light bulb turning on aha moments anyone who knows either one of you will experience. Next, we have the crown chakra. This is just amazing. From the feet all the way to the head, from the earth all the way to the ether. It's like again, written in the stars. It was supposed to happen. This is not a chance meeting. It was very, very divinely orchestrated. It was one of those contractual moments where y'all just sat down with God before this reincarnation and said, okay, this is happening. We're going to do it again. And when it does happen, the world is going to shake, thunder is going to spark, and all of the magic is just going to explode. When you come together, it feels so light, it feels so bubbly. Your connection is really, really going to intensify with your intuition. Let's just say that again. Your singular connection with your higher self, with your intuition, with God, with Source is just going to explode, expand, really stretch beyond limits, because you're absolutely limitless when you come together. When you come together individually, this is what you're going to be blessed with. And that connection you have, and the connection that's just going to continue growing within you as an individual with God, is going to expand beyond measure. And then, of course, in this combined force of just all this love and amazingness, oh my goodness, watch out, world. Call in a lover. Oh, okay. So this is a spell card. I'm going to try and read this, and let's see how we do. The font isn't too bad. So this spell will help you attract a new love. Draw a bath, gather rose quartz crystal, rose petals, Epsom salts, and honey. Before you add the ingredients to the bath, taste the honey and call in the goddess of love, which is Venus. Venus was poisoned by honey, so make sure the honey is good and honor her. This will ensure that she brings you your desire. Mix the ingredients into the water, then enter the bath. Close your eyes and consider what you want to attract. Speak your intention out loud before leaving the bath. You know what's interesting is at the top of the reading here, I remember talking to you about this list of non-negotiables and if I could dream my most wildest dream, this is what I want to call in type of list. And I'm just filled with this sense or this knowing that you almost felt as though you were fooling yourself. Like, the list was just, it was too good to be true. It's like, is this even possible? And then deeper into the reading, it was the how. An exercise like this and doing a love spell like this, I think is just going to help invigorate the non-negotiables that you did set out for yourself, the parameters, or I want to say even lack of parameters that you made around your wishes and your desires. I feel like this is going to help solidify the knowing within you that it is possible. I hope this entire reading has brought you along that path of possibility, because anything it is that comes to you that is a desire within you, it's God inspiring you and saying, if this is what you want, it's entirely possible. So never think anything that you dream of is impossible to gather or impossible to experience, because the inspiration wouldn't come to you in the first place if God wasn't saying to you, this could be yours. Believe in your wishes, believe in your desires, and believe that you do have the power to bring this forward. Sagittarius, I'm not going to read this, but this could be an indicator for you. A little saggy sag. And then lastly, we have free of fear. Love can bring up fear and anxiety. Anxiety, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. It says a body scan meditation can help quiet your mind and bring you back to the present. Begin by lying down on the floor or your bed. Close your eyes and relax your breathing. I'm just going to take over from the card because I have a feeling I know what the card is going to say. So it's interesting, I think, that we were going shifting almost not away from doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with your physical senses, but introducing the idea of doing the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 with your psychic senses, with your line of intuition. One of the quickest ways we can be present is by feeling and tuning into the sensations of our body. And it's one thing, to take the hand and to physically feel things. Like I'm physically feeling the cards and I can feel the textures and I love it. I love the textures. But it's another to ask for the guidance of spirit, of our angels, of our loved ones. And okay, I just caught myself because when I say of spirit, we always want to ensure that we're setting the intention and being so specific and so clear of the energy we invite forward. When and if you use the term and invite spirit, there's a lot of air quotes happening in your reading. It's so important for you to distinguish who it is you're actually calling forward. I know that there's some readers out there that refer to spirit as spirit, and I can feel into them using this term loosely and just inviting any energy in close to them, which can be actually quite confusing for a reader. I have experienced it myself, and I'm so clear now with who it is I do work with, and of course, who I have boundaries with and hold protection against. But yeah, you use that term wisely. Back to the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and just being really, really present within the physical body. It's less about using your sense of touch and more about speaking to your angels, speaking to God, speaking to the most loving divine support, and asking them to guide the meditation or to guide the exercise and process of feeling sensations in the physical body as you scan from head to toe. To pull ourselves out of an anxious feeling, one of the quickest ways to do that is to get into the physical body, the physical sense. So again, if that's a scanning meditation, if it's walking outside, if it's making yourself a nourishing meal, doing something to bring you into that physical experience is really going to help move you out of an anxious state. That is what I have for you. I'm so excited for you. You wild, wild heart. I absolutely loved connecting with you today. Thank you so much. It would be a pleasure to connect with you again in the future. I appreciate you subscribing and liking, and of course, coming back and sharing your experience if you're able to remember this video or just to let me know in any capacity. That would be really beautiful. Wishing you a gorgeous and heart-fulfilling day. Hello, if you have chosen this third card, the womb, welcome, welcome. This is going to be your reading. We are going to get to the book, but before we get there, I want to just go through all of the things that are channeling through already for you. First, this card out of all of the cards is absolutely full of color. There are a couple of different messages coming through with the color in this card. I'm hearing there's a lot of passion, but I'm also hearing there's a lot of rage. There's a lot of creativity brewing right now. And I'm also hearing the world, oh, that was strange. I was hearing the world is your limit. I have such a curious mind by nature, and I'm sitting here and kind of like shooting energetic eyes at my guide going like, what does that even mean? And before I receive more guidance on that, speaking of eyes, I was really intensely focused on this area in the card, and Katy Perry's The Eye of the Tiger song was coming to my mind just before I pressed record to film. And this really animalistic message or animalistic sense is coming through. This is a very, I want to say, this is a heated group, and that's okay. There are a lot of emotions that are brewing. There is a lot of emotions that are actually like looking and searching for release. So whatever that looks like for you, I'm picking up this sense like it doesn't really look like anything for you, you know? Like, where do you put this anger and this frustration or this strong energy and emotion? Now would be an amazing, amazing time for you to find any type of outlet. Oh, I understand. Okay. With my clairvoyance, and because I'm doing a lot of readings these days on YouTube and with clients, I'll be out doing my own like regular natural life things. And all of a sudden I'll be in the middle of like cashing out for something or standing around and waiting, whatever it is I'm doing. I'll have like moments flash in my third eye. And today I was standing in line and all of a sudden I flashed back decades to where I was so angry and I was so unbelievably frustrated, but I didn't have an outlet. Like I didn't know what to do with myself or with these emotions. And I remember being in my parents' kitchen and I picked up their phone. It's like a phone that was hung up on the wall. And over and over and over again, I just dialed the numbers to our house phone number. Like I didn't think anyone else had that number. And that was before like area codes started to expand in the city and this, that, and the other. And I just kept dialing and dialing and dialing and dialing the house number because I didn't think anything would happen. And in my world, in my child experience or the experience I was having as a youth, aggressively pushing the numbers was my way and my process of like expending out this angry energy. That was the only way I knew how to do it. And funny enough, the pointer finger energetically is like the finger of anger. Like you never want to point your finger at someone. And if someone points their finger at you energetically, like it's a thing. And you want to cleanse yourself and just, you know, shield yourself, call Archangel Michael in and Jesus in and do all of the things to, you know, protect yourself and protect your energy, do an energy cleanse, an energy bath. And I remember I paused for a moment and I heard someone on the other end, like on the call, going, hello. And I had actually phoned another household with the same phone number, but the area code wasn't needed. I have no idea. I have no clue how it happened, how I made that happen, but someone was actually on the other end and I was like, oh, sorry, wrong number. And I hung up the phone. But I know that I had that memory and that moment of flashback because I understand where you are right now. And I understand that if you don't have an outlet to expel, to get rid of, to release this anger, now is the time to like try anything, try and do anything. You can scream into a pillow, you can punch a pillow, you can see about going for a run or a boxing class or, you know, doing something, because right now what's happened is all of these emotions and all of this passion and anger and fire is heated up so much inside of your system. And it's like steam is releasing, but there is not a full release. This is actually even going to like not having a full release sexually. This could be affecting the sacral chakra and the energy within that creative center, the center of like healthy sexual nature. When you are almost there, but then you don't fully complete. So the eye of the tiger, a lot of emotion, a lot of anger, this sense of not having completion, not finishing, and needing to expend, needing to release the pressure that's built up. The womb. Everything has an origin story. The womb archetype asks us to contemplate the beginning beyond the beginning, the mother beyond the mother, in a world that often negates the power and necessity of feminine principles. This card returns us to the warmth, tenderness, and sacred intelligence from which we came. It is a card of receiving, not achieving, of accepting love from the mother of us all. She is the life-giving force that forgives and cherishes even the most wounded and desperate soul. No matter how lost you are, the womb awaits your return to help you heal and grow. This card is a call to keep things simple, to return, to be reborn in the name of love. The womb is everywhere. It is beyond gender, beyond time. We are within it, as it is within us. Whew, that one gave me the goosies. That was a really good one. Yeah, now is the time to just return to yourself, to release the things that have been gathered over the years, over the decades, over your life. There is certainly something coming up around looking into your childhood and being able to heal from a really deep place right now. Very deep. And saying that, my eye instantly went into this like black hole. The tarot deck that I had set aside for group number 3 is the classic Rider-Waite. And I split the deck open, and the Two of Wands was at the bottom of the deck. And I split it open to the world. And I was originally just going to give them a really quick shuffle before I pressed record. And I thought to myself, I can't, because these two cards are just absolutely so perfect for one another. I'm just going to do this over here. The Two of Wands tells us to take a moment and to feel where we currently are, but to look out into the future, to look out beyond what we see in front of us and ask ourselves where it is we want to go, what it is we want to experience, and where we could possibly find ourselves settling into something that's going to ignite us, something that's going to bring a new passion into our lives. Now, the wands in this deck are often filled with these little leaves, but of all the times I've read the tarot, not many have my eyes been focused on the new life growing out of the wands. I feel like right now taking a chance, taking a leap, taking a step in, I want to say the opposite direction, is going to be really fulfilling to you. And then of course we have the World. And when we talk about adventure and going towards the unknown, this could be taking a really big leap into a different area, into a different community, into a different country, continent, province, maybe even as simple as into a new condo building, into a new neighborhood, doing something that is going to shake up where you currently are. And we have the World again. Shake up where you currently are and bring you into the unknown. The Moon is about focusing on the flow, feminine, intuitive aspect of us. It invites us to get a little bit more quiet. It invites us to maybe hermit a little bit more in the different phases of the Moon. It could invite us to do some deeper healing. It could invite us to get into our wishes and what it is we desire a little bit more. I'm hearing no for that. Oh, I love that though. We have the Star. Speaking of wishes, we have the Star at the bottom of the deck. What is it that you have been desiring? I have an understanding that you may have put wishes out there. You may have wanted things. and you may have made requests out to the ether, and they haven't come to fruition. And this could possibly be where some of the anger is coming from, some of the frustration, some of the worry, some of the questioning, but it's not the only source. Let's flip the cards and see what else is coming up. So we have the Knight of Cups, no reversals today. We have the Eight of Cups. So already we're starting off with a very, like a sense of really deep emotion. Our cups really talk to the emotional aspect of life. When it comes to the Knight, they have a bit more maturity on the page. Out on the golf course, there's 18 holes to finish a complete round of golf, but people can stop after 9 holes. The Knight of Cups is like being on the green of the 8th hole, knowing that you're close to finishing what could be the last hole, and you're starting to question if you're going to do the back 9. So this is where like that maturity is. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm like getting the point across. Maybe you have someone in your life that really, really likes golf and that irritates you. Maybe I'm here to like help rise or help bubble up the anger inside. That's okay. The Eight of Cups is about really like moving away, going into another direction, taking stock of what it is you truly desire, but far away from any distraction. Next, we have the 10 of Swords. This can be a sign of a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. I was going to turn this and it was not yet. So let's just look into this a little bit more. Okay. I'm picking up here the idea of shifting in a new direction, or the idea of moving house, changing location, stepping away from the familiar and into the unknown is causing anxiety or stress as is. Even before you do the thing, even just thinking about it is like causing you to wave a white flag of surrender in the air. Like, don't give up. Have the fortitude of the Knight of Cups. Have like this will and desire to go out and get what it is that your soul knows will emotionally fulfill you. Thank you. I'm receiving such a beautiful vision of seeing you where you currently are and just holding yourself back from moving forward, knowing what it is you desire, but making zero movement and definitely not making choices to help inspire that change, to call in what it is you want. Great. We have the Star, and I love that it's falling underneath the Knight of Cups, because we were just talking about that energy of knowing what it is you want, knowing the things that you would like to call in. Let's just give our lady here a little brassiere. A dragonfly. I love that. Balance. Beautiful. Knowing what it is you want, but not supporting yourself in the ways that you actually need to make it happen. And when we saw that Two of Wands and the World card and this Eight of Cups, like moving away from what's familiar into a more emotionally stable future, this is what needs to happen. Don't let your own fear and worry and anxiety like stop you in your tracks. Strength, so suiting, so needed, so grateful to see this card. What I do love is when the 10 of Swords was popping up, my eye could not stay away from this super bright yellow in the background. Okay, that's great. So when we think about the yellow, this really has everything to do with the solar plexus chakra, right? Where we have our confidence, our inner confidence, our inner strength. Oh, of course. Yes, our inner strength. And next, I'm just zooming into this like infinite, what is it called? The infinity sign. Is looking in at this infinity sign over top of the crown chakra. It's like the world is your oyster. What is that? The world is your limit. I'm still so curious as to why that was said and why that came out of my mouth. Okay, so I'm hearing why, but I'm also seeing things to help me put the pieces together. The feeling I'm picking up on and the message I'm gathering from the world is your limit. Instead of seeing the world as being something really, really open and infinite in itself, it's just like all of the possibilities out there, it's almost like you feel too confined within the world at the same time. And I just had a quick flash into feeling like super confined within the womb as you were growing. There's really something about this shift in mentality that has to happen, and this shift in awareness that really, instead of the world is your limit in this very like confined, hard place, it's like the world is your oyster and there is so much for you out there, but you're only going to realize that and see that once you actually start to branch out and make those decisions, make those choices that are going to support the emotional stability you're after and all of the dreams that you've conjured up in your heart. Oh my gosh. And then the Fool, I love that. A new adventure is beginning. And this is so exciting. And then next we have the Queen of Wands. Of course, this is just brilliant. And we're seeing a couple of extra lions and tigers, and we have the sunflower here. I love the symbolism behind the sunflowers, like as they open up and bloom and grow during the day, they follow the sun. So when the sun moves in the sky, the sunflower moves towards that sun, and they move and they shift with nature, with what is happening around them. They don't stay still. There is such a call for movement right now, for shaking things up and doing things differently in your life. Next, we're going to pull from the Wise Witch Oracle cards. Just make sure I have all of them. Okay, the card that was stuck inside the box is Intuition. Embrace your intuition and the power of the feminine divine. Trust your inner guidance. And that Moon card is just popping up again in my awareness. How are we going to shuffle these? That does not, did not. I don't think that really did anything. Yes, yes. There's one more. There it is. All right, darling. Intuition, of course. Okay, so let's just put that there. Protection. The finger pointing. Okay, I love that. How about taking an Epsom salts bath? An Epsom salts bath with some essential oils, if you would like. The Epsom salts, what it does is it draws out like stagnant and unneeded, unwanted, unnecessary energy from the physical body. You can also use like a sea salt in certain areas, maybe like outside of your property. If you can sprinkle some on the sidewalk, I'm seeing. You can also put a dash, I'm seeing for you, putting a dash or putting like a little bit of sea salt at the foot of your bed. When I was studying Reiki, I learned from a teacher about putting black tourmaline stones at the foot of the bed that the client would lay on. And it was explained to me that black tourmaline is kind of like, you know, at the airport, the guys that stand on the tarmac and they bring the plane in with the light wands, the mini lightsabers. That's what black tourmaline does for for our soul, like for our energy. And it helps guide the soul. It helps guide our energy fully back into the physical body at the end of a session. And what I'm seeing for yourself is just protection at the end of your bed. It's like the bottoms of your feet, the portals, like the energetic openings to the soles of your feet are quite open right now. And it's being explained that as you walk outside on the earth, this is a very grounding and also very cleansing exercise for your energy. When you're sleeping at night, there's something about energy like passing by and passing through the bottoms of your feet. I would invite you even just to take your hands. The chakras in our hands are connected to the chakras in our heart. And what you can do is sitting down and watching TV or sitting in your meditation chair, anything like this, place your hand on the bottom of your feet and visualize light going in to the soles of your feet and just cleansing and drawing out and healing that area of your energy. Use the power of your clairvoyance, your inner sight, or even the power of your feeling, your clairsentience, and close in like these energy centers or these vortex, the chakra centers at the pads, the bottoms of your feet, just to protect your energy a little bit more so that you're not seeping any unnecessary energy out. So what the card says for protection is create a safe space. Within this circle, you are protected and empowered. And I'm just being reminded again to share Archangel Michael is the angel of protection. Call on Jesus if you would like, the master protector of all. And Epsom salts, again, is really going to help with your energy. And then, of course, you can use sage. There is a difference between sage and Palo Santo. Palo Santo will really uplift the energy in your room, where a white sage will do the protecting of the energy in your space or of your own personal space. Lastly, we have roots. Connect with your roots. Ancestral wisdom guides you. I am being shown that you are actually so much more intuitive than you've had the opportunity to explore up to this point. You have very sensitive energy, which makes a lot of sense when it comes to just seeing like the pads of your feet blasted open and the importance of just like using the power of your visualization to heal the energy in your feet and to really start like grounding yourself. Honor your emotions, honor the emotions you feel if they're the ones that you prefer to feel or the ones that you don't necessarily want to feel. Honor whatever is coming up because it's time to like just neutralize what's happening inside of you. Right now, over the next little bit, don't worry about being happy-go-lucky. Don't worry about being, you know, the nice guy or the comedic relief I'm hearing. Neutralize your emotions, balance your energy, and just get to a common ground with yourself. Start understanding what things feel like. When you're frustrated, just honor it. Be frustrated. When you're angry, just be angry. Try not to allow for these really strong emotions to build up too much inside of you. There has to be a release. You're almost getting to that release point, but then it's being contained. And if we contain something with too much pressure for too long, it's going to explode. And you might even find yourself exploding or not being able to have like a common ground conversation with someone if you're upset with them. We don't want to get to that exploding part. We want to be in a neutral space as much as possible. So right now is your time to just get back to basics and start sorting out and feeling the things that are coming up to feel. Now, in the middle of that, I was looking into and just reminding my guides, reminding your guides, we're here. Like, we're here for romance. Are we calling in a romantic relationship? Maybe this isn't the message that you wanted to hear, but it's certainly the message that you needed to hear today. I really believe, in terms of romance, just speaking of neutralizing your emotions and really finding balance in your emotions is going to help you along your path. But then also just having that knowledge of it's going to take movement and shifts, different choices and different decisions in getting out there, of going beyond the point you have possibly been feeling stuck in order to call that relationship closer to you. I'll say it's not around the corner for you. This is something that is going to take more time to call in, and you'll do that the moment you really start to honor yourself and honor what it is you're going through. Okay, so what's blocking you? This is the next deck that I am being guided to use. And I'm hearing there's one more. There it is. All right, my love. Let's see what's next. Indecision. You are afraid to make a mistake, so you won't commit either way. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. I know you. I understand you. Everyone leaves. Choose a partner who can commit to you and let yourself commit to them. This is so fascinating. I feel for yourself in particular, a lot of messages have been channeling through me, not just today, but I want to say even yesterday and the day before. What was I doing? I was either watching something or something came up, and I heard the term like old beliefs, and my higher self spoke within me and said, everyone I love goes away. And oh my gosh, it brought a tear to my eye, and I flashed to so many incidences where I had felt this really intense love, and then that person just left. And I actually remember growing up having such a difficult time with this. I would be like 6 years old, and my grandparents would be visiting, and when it was time for them to leave, I would just break down and cry. I've had close friends move away. I had this best friend in grade school, and her parents divorced. And this was, I believe, in grade 1, and her mother like packed the both of them up, and they ended up moving back to Germany. And this was my best friend, and I was beside myself. But this fear never really left, and I noticed myself crying and being so distraught even in my young adulthood when people would move away, or they would leave, or they would pass away. What I'm being shown really clearly is this has to do with past life relations, something that isn't healed. It's this belief of not being infinitely connected at all times. There is this understanding, there is this truth behind infinite connection. And so it's getting to a place where you don't feel like you have to fool yourself into believing that once someone is gone, that's it. It's like we're always connected, and we can always have that connection with those that we love in our own unique way. And I just feel like the end of the road doesn't need to feel like the end of the road for you. Love sucks. You have stopped believing in love. Let yourself heal so you can be open again. The road sure can be rocky, can't it? Incomplete. You want someone who completes you, but you need to be whole on your own. I do hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel inspired to just like look within and to heal within and to just take care of yourself. Moving forward, it's less about what is going to make everyone else happy and more about what really makes you happy. Less about people pleasing everyone else but yourself, and more about just taking care of your own needs. Walking away. You leave too quickly when things get challenging. Stay and try to work it out. So just going back to the working through your emotions to a point where you don't explode and you don't lose it when things get really challenging and really hard. And the best way to do this, the best way to balance and understand your emotions is to accept the emotions that are coming up when they do. The more we accept those emotions, the more we're able to identify what's happening in the body, what's happening in the mind. We can clarify for others, okay, this is how I'm feeling right now. I wouldn't be surprised if I start crying or if I come across as super angry. You can preface to others, like, don't take things personally. I'm also trying to work through this and understand this right now. I think the thing with the human journey and with emotions, what I've had to battle through myself is understanding that I don't have all the answers and I'm figuring things out just as much as the next person, and anyone who shows up and just like pretends or comes across as a know-it-all. It's like, yeah, I know how to deal with this, but no one really does. There is no right and there is no wrong. There is just this quest of understanding. And the more we can lean into that, and the more confident we can become on our journey of just like staying open, being curious, and having that desire to expand and to get to know ourselves just a little bit more. Lastly, we have not compatible. You don't really believe there's a match for you. Have an open mind. You know what's coming up for me right now is, if you don't believe that there is a match for you, I actually want to confirm that. And this might sound a little, I don't know, just different. But I do see and I can feel, and it's like, I know the part of the journey that you're in because I've been there. And the reason why you feel like there is no match for you, the reason why you feel like you're not compatible with someone right now, is because God has a much greater plan for you. When it comes to energy, when it comes to partnership, when it comes to inviting a romantic partnership into our life, like energy attracts like energy. And I don't think we've missed the point at all that throughout this reading, there are emotions, there's really strong emotions that need to get figured out. And there is a lot of navigating, personal navigating that has to happen right now. And there is absolutely no shame around that. Like, I have been single for 8 years. I understand anger so much. I'm not angry because I've been single, but I was just angry because I held on to my anger for decades and decades. I didn't know where to put it, how to disperse it. And so what this is communicating to you is not that you're not compatible in general, but who you would attract right now if you were looking for a romantic partner is someone just as hot-headed, and I feel safe to say as messy as you are in the position that you're in at the current moment. And I say messy with love, with compassion, with understanding, and with so much empathy for the point of the journey that you are on right now, because I've been there. I have sludged through it, and I'm still find myself trying to work out of it from time to time. And so don't let that stop you from thinking this is it. it's the end of the road, end of the path. There is no hope. There is tons of hope, but God doesn't want to put someone who matches your current energy on your path, because that's just going to be way too much. You don't want to have to work on sorting out your energy while also combating someone else who is matching that energy. Remember, like energy attracts like energy. And right now your call is to just neutralize, to understand, to hold compassion for yourself, to not go around and please everyone else, but instead learn how to take care of you. It's a beautiful place. It can be a challenging place where you are, but it is a beautiful place where you are because you are being held in God's grace. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for opening yourself up to me the way that you did. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the opportunity of being able to read your energy like this. You know, it touches really closely to my own heart and to my own journey. And I promise this really is not the end. It's oh gosh, just the beginning of the most amazing path ahead. You have just the whole world out there in front of you waiting to be discovered. Do what you can. Do the things that will help you and not hinder you. And you, oh gosh, you're going to be running wild and free sooner than you know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you feel blessed, and I hope you do feel absolutely surrounded by love, because that is everything you are. If you chose this card, the fourth card, the surprise card, the kiss, then this is your reading. Welcome, welcome. This is so interesting because I feel like my bandwidth has completely expanded, but in a good way. We are going to get to the book, but you just feel so light. You feel very, very cheerful. You feel bright and you feel happy, and you feel extremely clear on the path you want to walk, clear on the future you are working towards building and creating for yourself, just open in general. As I was looking at the table of contents in the front of the book to find the card number, the page that the message is on, I found it like this. I found it instantly. It didn't take me any effort. And when it comes to the theme of this reading, I feel like that is the first message for you. I feel like despite anything that happened in the past, like we're talking anything, any trial, any tribulation, any challenge in a past romantic partnership, I feel like the one coming in is just going to be effortless for you. Like not a lot of work has to go towards it. Something that is just going to naturally fall into your lap. And for some, this has been like some time coming. And I almost feel like at this point, it's just like you've thrown your hands up and you're like, oh gosh, like whatever, if it happens, it happens. And I'm here to tell you it is going to happen, and it is going to happen effortlessly. I do like to read the actual card and the messages that are coming through on the card before getting into the book. So let's go ahead and do that first. This to me, it looks like an eyeball. Does that not look like an eye? Like a really interesting eye, a really cool eye. This is the catch. That's what a photographer would call that white light inside of the eyeball when there's really beautiful, bright lighting catching inside of the eye. That's the catch to the eye. There is a bit of a gray area in this card, and that like like that in between, that kind of like, oh, I don't care. If it happens, it happens, mixed in with that like anticipation of, I can't wait for it to happen. Like there's still that excitement, but you're in that in between. Like it's almost like you've exhausted the energy in you, and the anticipation of a really amazing partnership coming in has been exhausted out of you. But there is still that element of excitement. The hand holding here is just so kind and so tender and so nurturing. It feels really loving. It feels really soft. It doesn't feel at all like it's forced or controlling. Maybe keep an eye out. Maybe that's why I'm seeing this as an eye. Maybe just keep an eye out, but you don't need to force anything because it's just gonna happen, right? Let's go ahead and read what the book has to say. So again, the card is the kiss. Before a first kiss, the air is electrified. Each breath is alive with possibility and magic. What will their lips be like? Their tongue? Do they want me in return? The archetypal energy of the kiss is a heightened sensation of merging with other, of letting in what was moments ago separate, to become one. It is risky but beautiful business. These moments forever change us as we move past the solitary self toward union and acceptance. When the kiss takes a non-human form, it may be experienced as touching the sacred, hearing a whisper, or being graced by a divine being. You will recognize the presence of the kiss by cold chills and an awakening of the heart. Oh, it just feels so good and so warm and so loving, like all over me, my heart, my chest, my arms, my mind. Like I instantly melted and just became so whimsical. A kiss is such a transformational moment. It is a moment that goes, oh my gosh, it can be so heated, but it can also freeze time. It's everything. It can be hot and cold, sweet and saucy. It is so many things. It's a very personal act. It is a very sacred thing to share with someone else. A kiss should never be taken lightly. I have this gold foil deck, a tarot deck. I was just going to explain that the cards are very slippery. Okay, so this could actually be communicating a time where something could feel so good for you that you don't want it to slip through your hands or slip through your fingertips. Oh my gosh. I am just so giddy. This is so funny. I hope nothing has fallen. Let me just collect myself. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords, as we know, is heartache. And I'm hearing this is a time of the past. Heartache is not something for you to anticipate or, feel doomed by. We have at the bottom here. I'm sorry. I promise I will do my absolute best to keep it together. We have the Three of Cups. This is celebration. This is not third-party energy. This is a lot of celebration. And I see your angels in particular, your loved ones celebrating with you. Oh my gosh. I don't even want to know how long that took me to gather. But that's okay. We're all here. There's absolutely zero way I can split the deck and do like the fold These cards are wild, and maybe you feel like you're wild at heart right now. Maybe you feel like you're full of energy, you're full of movement. When I hold these cards and I shuffle them, they remind me of that toy, the rubber water tube toy that, like, when you squeeze it a little bit, it like shoots forward and you're constantly going after it and catching it in your hands. I'm hearing there's no more. What's on the bottom of the deck? The 5 of Cups is on the bottom of the deck. We have the 3 cups that have spilt over. We have 2 more cups standing. What I'm hearing for this is like anything that happened in the past is in the past. Don't cry over spilt milk. There's no need to worry or harbor any hard feelings from the past. Actually, if you are harboring hard feelings of the past, and look at that, we have 3 sword cards to come up after that. It is time to sever that. It's time to cut through that resentful energy, the resentful feelings of anything that did, and I'm hearing did not happen in the past. What is in store for you is beyond anything you could ever imagine. I cut the deck to my cup runneth over. Oh, and my eye is going to the peace dove. It's like you are entering not only a very emotionally fulfilling time, but a very like peaceful time, a very happy time, like very happy, very peaceful, very nurturing, very sweet. I love that. Oh, in the sun. Okay, amazing. So let's just go ahead. I'll leave those cards right there and let's see what shuffled out. Okay, 5 of Pentacles. No more, like absolutely no more. There is no more energy around feeling like you've been left out in the cold. I'm just seeing, you know, okay, the scene in Billy Madison where they're like crossing out the names of like everyone that did them wrong. There was someone that was made fun of in school or something. And anyways, Billy approached them, asked for help, and like they were then on good terms with one another. I feel like there's no need to keep a hit list of those that you harbor any unkind feelings again and resentful feelings towards. Like just let them be. Remember, everyone is doing the best that they can, and moving forward, you're all the more wiser for it, and you're not going to face the same challenges as you did from the past. Remember, every challenge and every trial we face is an opportunity for us to learn, to grow, to heal, to gather information from, and to really become wise in our own right. And I feel like you've done the learning. You've done the learning. You have, you know, the notches on your belt. The lessons have been taken in. You're okay. Like there's no more energy like this feeling left out in the cold. And I want to say like, woe is me. That all stops. Okay, next we have the Devil. You're still feeling chained. You're feeling chained to the past for some reason. Maybe there were conversations that got cut short, or just relationships, like maybe there was ghosting, and there's like these like unfinished business I'm hearing, and I'm seeing you energetically feeling chained to the past. There is some energy work that you can do with yourself, or use your discernment, but reach out to a spiritual advisor, someone that works at moving and manipulating energy and healing energy, working with the divine to heal and close off wounds and karmic cycles from the past. I do that. There is something about just energetically feeling chained. This like specifically, not just tied to the past, but chained to the past. For someone, this could be a clarifier. It's like someone from your past has something of yours. You don't need it. You don't need to get it back. Just let it go, release it. Practicing non-attachment. I'm not saying it's time for you to necessarily declutter, but it is time for you to let go of the idea of receiving something that was yours that's now in the hands of someone else. It's gone. Next we have the World. And I'm just going to pull or flip open the other one. And then we have Four of Pentacles. Okay, cool. Let's flip the rest, shall we? We have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, a lot of Pentacles. And we have Death. Love this. Okay, this is amazing. Oh my gosh. The World. I'm seeing you holding the world in the palm of your hands, like you're holding a globe. I'm hearing the world is yours. So that's a really beautiful thing. It's like anything it is that you've dreamt of is coming to fruition. I'm hearing, and that you can take to the bank. I love that. Oh my gosh, of course. And especially with all of this pentacle energy. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I mean, I don't know who is bringing the comedy right now, but I am here for it. I love that. Now is a time to keep very stable, keep very balanced, to keep very sure-footed. This could be slow energy. You could be feeling like slow energy, right? Like the in-between, the gray period, the gray phase, the in-between the past and entering the new. But remember, like, this is something that is it's falling into your lap and it's happening really soon. I'm hearing within the next 3 months. I know that that's specifically for someone, and you'll feel it in your body right now. Like, you'll know whenever you're listening to a pick a card reading or a collective reading on YouTube and your energy is mixed within a number of other listeners' energy. When a reader says something, tune into your intuition throughout the reading. Allow for your angels and your higher self to guide you to understand and to know what messages are for you and what is supposed to be left for someone else. Do not get hung up on specifics that you're really, really hoping for, and really allow for the divine to guide you into knowing, to solidifying your truth for you. So just allow for it to unfold as it will. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles, the message here that I really want to touch on is when you are dating and when you do go out and you're getting to know this person one-on-one, don't be too nervous to share things about yourself. Certainly do not be nervous to show up as your authentic self, but try not to hold your cards too close, because there is, speaking of energy, there is an energy around that. And I'm just feeling like now is the time for you to approach your dating life and to approach this individual in an open way. Open yourself up. Maybe say a prayer before going into your date. Thank you. Thank you for relaxing me and keeping me nice and open for conversation and helping me shine as my brilliant self. When we hold our cards way too close to our chest, then sometimes that can be read as like this person's too closed off, or they could get into their head about like, oh, do they even like me? Like, I don't even know. I can't read them at all. We don't want to be so open with our energy that we're just giving everything away. But also at the same time, we don't want to confuse who it is we're hanging out with in thinking or having them think something that isn't actually true in the first place. So just remember, like, loosen the reins a bit, loosen your grip a little bit. Be open to share and open to receive. Be receptive as well. The Death is transformation. I really believe as a whole in your dating life, in the energy that you put out in your dating life and in this new romantic partnership, and then the energy that you also are receiving. The Knight of Pentacles is a slower moving energy. I just did a reading and the same message is actually coming up for this card. It's not a slow moving energy in terms of like, oh, this is going to take forever. No, because it isn't. It doesn't feel like it's slow. What this energy feels like to me right now is the energy around this individual being so sure-footed themselves. Like they've done the work, they have that structure, they have that foundation to them, to life, to their personal growth, to their professional world. Everything about them is just really, really sturdy, and it's only going to become sturdier. Let's pull some more cards. Oh my gosh, I almost just like lost the deck all over again. Then I would have been like, okay, that's it. No more. Reading's done. You certainly have a really playful approach to life. I love that. This is it. Okay, amazing. And they're really going to love that too. Oh, so good. Okay, I knew it. I could feel it. I was like, I know that this Knight of Pentacles is only going to be growing into a greater version of themselves. It's like this person, there is no rewinding time. There is no looking back. And that's why it's so important for you to like get out of the chains from your past so that you can move forward. There is no harping on past relationships, on past partners, on past experiences that put this person through challenges. There's no qualms around it. It's like this person has the wisdom inside of them to know that there's nothing that goes to waste. They maybe, like all of us, weren't necessarily thrilled to be going through the lesson at the time, but this person's not going to sit around a campfire and talk about all of their challenges and trials and tribulations and the woe is me. This person has learned, they have grown, they are very sure and standing strong within themselves, and they're only looking forward. And they are looking for someone who is emotionally, spiritually, mentally the same in that regard. Do you have the capacity to just look forward? How are we going to build our future? How are we going to work towards our future? Forget about what happened before, because we're standing here. This person is a very present person. I'm seeing there's not a lot of daydreaming. Like this is not a whimsical energy, but more an energy that is just very sure and very hardworking and really just wants to know what your thoughts and ideas are on moving forward and building a future going forward. The other card we have, the Queen of Pentacles. Does it get any more perfect than that? I mean, if you were to ask and if you wanted an honest opinion, I'd say no. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Like, I love this. I love how balanced that is. It's like the yang to your yang. Let's put those front and center, shall we? Sounds good to me. Next we have the Page of Pentacles. This is just unbelievable. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so good. I instantly flashed to like you guys starting a family and having kiddos, or like being surrounded by a younger energy and having the desire and the want, the need to maybe start a school or to maybe do online teaching of financial freedom, financial smarts, like something that will help the youth financially, because you're both so wise and so smart and so grounded in the physical world. This is something that you can achieve really great feats with. Is that English? I hope so. And the knowledge you have is something that you would actually both feel very blessed in paying forward. Okay. Oh gosh. I mean, This reading is gorgeous. So we have the Three of Pentacles. This is working harmoniously to building a really great future. There's a lot of creative contribution that goes in to this. There's a lot of teamwork that goes into this, a lot of openness and understanding. What I'm visually being shown in my inner sight is all these people are taking turns at standing on the platform. It's like not one person in this partnership, in this relationship, is going to be taking the higher ground in any way. Like you both definitely see each other eye to eye, and it is a very harmonious partnership. My goodness. Oh my. I mean, okay, I'm here for it. We have the Nine of Pentacles. This is you like really reaping, not even reaping, but thoroughly enjoying what it is that you have worked so hard towards. This card just like completely popped out of the deck. Oh my gosh. These decks, I did a Temu tarot haul. That's where these decks are coming from. Oh my gosh, they're just so slippery. I know I keep saying that. But yeah, so the Nine of Pentacles, really just being able to enjoy the physical world, enjoy the textures and the physical senses like on the earth, you know, so our sight, our smell, our taste, our touch. I mean, come on, like look at this future. Look at what it is you have called in for yourself. If you're asking me, there is absolutely no reason to harbor any hard feelings or negative feelings from the past. Whatever happened, get a pen to paper or go book in with a therapist and talk about it. Start figuring out what was the lesson, like what is the silver lining, what is the greatness that came from something. Like how can I stop seeing this as such a challenge or such a like, oh, sucks to be me. Like, how can you heal through that? And how can you push forward? How can you stop holding on to the past in not the best light? Yeah, figure that out, because I mean, the sooner you do, I think the quicker this is going to come in for you. Oh, so good. Let's read the Romance and Love Oracle next. I'm just going to put these tarot cards away before the rest of them end up on the ground. Oh my gosh, even the box, even the box wanted to fly out of my hands. Oh, it's so funny. Okay. All right. Let's see what you have. Abundance, of course. Oh my gosh, this isn't even like Russian roulette anymore. Like we know exactly where your reading has landed. Okay. Abundance. Open your heart to receive the abundant love the universe has to offer. I'm hearing you saying like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just expressing your gratitude and giving thanks for all of this that is coming in, acting as if it has already landed in your lap. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you. I asked for this amazing relationship and oh my gosh, did you ever deliver? Thank you. Yeah, expressing your gratitude. Next, we have baggage. Emotional baggage can weigh down relationships. Unpack it. I couldn't have said it better myself. Do the work. Ask the questions. You know what I did? I'm going to tell you. I'm totally going to tell you what I did. I got into my car and I drove up the street and I got a hot chocolate at Tim Hortons. I sat in the parking lot and I was listening to a pick a card reading. And my intuition was like, go over to that other parking lot. And I started to drive in my car and I drove over to like this seniors mall just down the street. And I know that in the back parking lot, it's fairly quiet. I mean, there's cars that go through it, but there isn't a lot of traffic. There isn't a lot of activity. And I sat in my car and I started to talk out loud. And I started to say all of the things that I was angry at, all of the things that were ticking me off, if you will. And then once the layer of anger was lifted, I started to get a little bit deeper. And I started going into the layers of fear and the layers of worry and all of the underlying emotions that my anger was covering up. Once I sorted through my anger, and then I sorted through like, ooh, I'm angry because I'm actually full of all of this fear and all of this worry and all of this doubt. And oh my gosh, the list just went on and on and on. I cried and I cried and I cried. And in this crying and in this unpacking of my anger and all of the things that I was just refusing to feel, and instead of feeling them was turning to distractions time and time again, I actually came to the bottom of things. I came to an understanding. Can I say a complete understanding of things? No, but I can confirm that I definitely came to some really great understandings in that moment. Maybe that's all you need. Maybe all you need to do is get into your car, go get yourself a hot chocolate or a tea or a coffee, sit in like somewhat of a secluded area and start talking to yourself out loud about the things that you're feeling. Start asking yourself questions. Allow yourself to really experience maybe the things that you've been avoiding over the last little bit. Because once you do that, and once you start uncovering all of these pieces of who you truly are, you're going to have a much more clear path to walk on moving forward. You're going to understand yourself better. You're going to be able to just drop things that were chaining you in place, tying you in a spot, and really like holding you hostage to the past, or holding you hostage to things that you're just ready to move away from and heal from. So yeah, there's some things to just unpack. Have at it. Have at it. I'm so encouraging of that. Next, we have relax. Find joy in the simple pleasures of just being together. But I kind of just want to stop the sentence short and I just want to say find joy in the simple pleasures. I think when we are actually like really bogged down by a bunch of things and we have energetically like so many things just clenching onto us and holding us tight into a confined space, it is challenging to breathe. It is a little bit more difficult to just chill and relax. When we can let things go, we are able to find a lot more ease in our posture, in how we approach situations, and everything. So yeah, find joys in the simple pleasure. And once you do let go of things, once you heal through things and unpack the baggage, you'll find that it is easier to breathe. It is easier for you to relax. And that is something to look forward to. It's very exciting. Alone time. Spend some time alone. It will help you gain clarity on your relationship, the opinions of other people, the opinions on how you should live your life, whatever the case is. Alone time, hermiting, actually getting clear, canceling out all of the other noise around you, just so that you can do the unpacking, is going to be very beneficial for your time. Nurture your relationships like blooming flowers. They'll flourish. Oh, well, don't we love a full circle moment? I certainly do. Just going back to just how nurturing your future looks and how nurturing this incoming partnership looks for you and feels for you is just absolutely beautiful. Figure out right now through the unpacking how you like to be nurtured, and maybe your preferences on how you like to nurture others. I'm just getting the sense that it's going to help you in communicating that to this amazingly grounded, future forward thinking partner. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing your silly, beautiful, lovely energy. It was an absolute pleasure connecting with you and reading for you today. All the best to you and this very, very abundant and fulfilling life that you've planned, that you've asked for, and that you will soon receive. I'm very excited for you. Have the most beautiful day.